Welcome back to the lunch table, food for thought. I'm Nico. Blitz. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and that bell at the bottom left-hand corner, man. Apple Podcast, SoundCloud, YouTube, iHeartRadio app. My next guest, surprisingly also from the Bay Area.
Yeah.
Right after I interviewed this cat from San Jose. His name is Chow Mein. And me and my next guest have a lot of people in common. Like, you know, he has ties with Stupid Young. Shout out to Risk Hassan too. Shout out to Chow Mein. We're actually also trying to get Heartbreaker in this thing. So, you know, this is just like that flare that I'm shooting up. Like, Heartbreaker, we need you in here. But, you know, this guy, he's been doing his thing for a long-ass time, man. And I respect people who stick to their grind for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, man.
Fire.
He goes by the name of Young Jay. What's poppin', man?
Hey, what's going on, bro?
You know,
that's a really cool intro, bro. I like that.
Yeah, man. You know, I just try to keep it as natural as possible, man. And it's like, and also personal too, because like, it's funny because as soon as you walk through the door and you're just like, oh, you're from the Bay too. And you know, you said you're from San Jose. I was like, I literally just had Chow Mein in here.
Well, the shorts kind of gave it away.
100%, man. 100%, bro.
Yeah.
You a Sharks fan?
Yep, of course. Sharks and Warriors and Raiders.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think anything's gonna happen for the Warriors this year, though.
Okay.
I personally don't think so. What you think?
Yeah, they lost a couple people, but man, the Warriors still the Warriors. They still got the coach and everything like that. Curry's still on fire. Clay's gonna make a comeback. You know what I'm saying? So we'll just wait and see, I guess.
Yeah, we'll see what we can do, man.
Sports is, man, unpredictable. So
100%, man. And I think one thing about sports is that you need to keep loyalty to your team. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro. Everyone thinks I'm a bandwagon just because I don't post sports all the time. But bro, I was a Warrior fan when Jeremy Lin was on the team.
And people don't even remember that Jeremy Lin was on the team.
Bro,
man.
we used to get 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs and 4 drinks for $100, bro. That's when it went back.
Costco, right?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
Or Groupon, I think, or whatever the fuck. But yeah, bro, it's been a long time. Curry wasn't even a starter when I was a fan yet. You know what I'm saying? Monte Ellis was in
Monte
there.
was.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I jumped on the bandwagon with the
We Believe.
We Believe when Baron Davis dunked over AK. Yeah, so that was around that time when I jumped on. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm literally on the exact same boat as you, bro. But then we got Warriors fans who talk about, you know, we started at like 2010, 2011. It's like, oh, okay, that's still kind of that's cool. That's cool.
So, there's always got to be a time when you jump on a bandwagon, right? You can't just like, man, this team sucks. I'm gonna jump on it. You know, you like it's hard. Well, that's how it was with me with the Raiders, but but yeah. So it's always a time when someone becomes a fan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and you can't ever knock somebody for being a fan, like at whatever particular time, like during their age, man. But you know, like shout out to the Bay Area because there's just so much natural talent that comes out of there, and I have this conversation all the time. I never feel like we get the credit we deserve.
Right,
bro.
right.
Not one bit.
I feel we do, but at the same time, it's like we don't appreciate it sometimes. If that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like we've made this way, but it's like, man, give us our credit, right? But it's like, man, like things evolve almost, right? So it's like, man, we took this from you, and then like even like a Mustard Sound when he was getting his little
his buzz,
his backlash, right, for stealing the Bay sound or whatever. But there was countless interviews where I go like, yo, I lived in the Bay or I stayed in the Bay. I got this from the Bay. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, how much is enough? Like, how much do you want this guy to like every song is like, thank you, Bay Area? You know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
true.
You get what I'm
that's
saying?
True.
It's like that's one thing that I feel is a crutch to the Bay Area too. You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of shit that we get credit for. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think what tends to happen is that people tend to stay in the Bay Area sound so much that they kind of get stuck. Like, for instance, I was just chopping it up with my barber, you know, literally just got the fresh cut today. You know what I mean?
Like, I'm slacking, so I got the hat on today. Yeah.
So, you know, I got the fresh cut from my barber today, and he was like,
hey, you get haircuts like, what's today? Today's Tuesday.
I'll tell you why, man. And this will be quick, but, like, I get my haircuts, like, every other Tuesday.
Okay, got you.
And it's because I normally don't set up interviews on Monday, and by the time it's Tuesday, it's like, okay, cool, I can get everything going.
So it's a work thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was talking to my barber too. He was just like, yeah, only people that got that get haircuts in the beginning of the week is like when their weekend is like on a Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? When they work the weekend.
Exactly.
And then shit like that. So
you know what I mean?
That
like,
makes sense.
So, you know, I'm chopping it up with my barber, and he was like, hey, bro, did you listen to the new Pilo album? And I was like, yeah, I did, bro. Like, it's really good front to back, and sonically it is Pilo.
Yeah.
And what I appreciated about that album so much is the fact that, he was able to talk about like some bass shit. Then he was able to talk about some deep shit towards the end while still maintaining his sound. And then my barber was like, yeah, but like I wish that album would have been talked about more. And I was like, well, like kind of like the problem is that Pilo's sound is very niche to the Bay Area that it's probably difficult for his sound to go on like a global scale.
Right. Okay, so with Pilo, he is dope as fuck to me because he was a producer and then they didn't want him to rap, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna just make songs and shit like that. And look, bro, like, put me on something. It's everywhere. I mean, it's maybe not global in, like, Japan or something like that, but I've been to, Atlanta and they play that song.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? I've been to the East Coast, Washington, D.C. I had a show out there and they played that song. You know what I'm saying? So he's getting his recognition too. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know, maybe because I'm like a half cup full type of guy. So I always kind of look at, like when people say we don't get this, I'll be like, wait, but we do get this. You get what I'm saying? Like I always try to look at the positives because, man, if you keep just talking about, man, I need recognition for this or something like that, I feel like you're kind of like playing a victim role almost all the time. You know what I'm saying? And that's a bad mindset to have.
No, I mean, that's
saying?
a really... I don't think it's a bad mindset to have. I think it's just a very honest, way of like going about it. Because how many, I guess to your point, like how long are we gonna play the victim role until we actually do something about it? Because for instance, like I had this conversation with one of my good homies, and he was like, I wish G-Eazy would do more. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like G-Eazy just came out with that West Coast record. He put on like Blueface, all black, especially, who's really popping in the Bay right now, and YG to try to like bring recognition. Especially, I feel like that was a record to really put recognition on for like all black. And so, the more we have records like that, the more I feel like the Bay will become more acceptable sonically to like the rest of the world, because having a cosign from G-Eazy is huge.
Right. And what do you think about this? Is like, you know how G-Eazy, his biggest record is what?
Me, Myself, and I,
right?
Yeah.
That's not a bass song.
It's not
right?
No.
So I'm asking you, is like, do we always have to push, like, I'm from the Bay, I have to make a bass, I have to make a sound, or can we just be Bay Area people making music?
We can definitely we could definitely be just Bay Area people making music, because Kehlani's from the Bay.
Right.
But Kehlani's found a way to like make her sound so sonically mainstream that people gravitate toward it. What I do appreciate about like Kehlani and also people like Bobby Brackens too, who songwrites for like Tinashe, Chris Brown and all them, like he will throw in Bay Area lingo every so often, and to me I'm just like, that's all I need. Yeah. Throw a ye here or there. You know what I mean? Like, and I will be
put a hella in there.
Throw hella in there. You know what I mean? And I'll be totally happy with that.
How do you feel about songwriters overall? Like, do you think it kind of like depreciates a person's creativity?
I don't think so. I think there's people who can be the face, and then there's people who can like really, be that voice for the face, because some people might not be able to deliver it in a way that, is a lot more presentable. And
even like, I feel like my take on that is like moods too, right? Let's say I'm like in a happy-go-lucky mood, but like, this guy has a song that's kind of more of like a sad song or whatever. Maybe I'm not able to write that right now, so maybe I'll use that hook on my song. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like writers are pretty... necessary
Writers
for the game, but for some
reason,
like, it kind of like, oh man, this guy uses a writer, oh, he's not true hip-hop.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, even the other day, me and my girl were listening to throwback like R&B jams, bro, and then we were listening to I think it was "Take a Bow" by Rihanna, and I told her, she was like, yo, this is like one of my favorite songs. I was like, Neo wrote this song, right? And she was like, really? I was like, yeah.
And then why is it more acceptable for pop and R&B? But as when rappers use it, you know what I'm saying? But I've had the opportunity to, like, producers will be like, hey, write for these artists right now or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So there are rappers that use writers. You know what I'm saying? But for some reason, if they do, it's more of like, what the fuck is that?
Well,
you know
I think in the hip-hop community, like, a lot of raps tend to come from, like, a very particular and specific situation, right? Yeah. Like, you can't have... Like, for instance, like, the shit that you be talking about, like, you can't have, like, Rihanna rap about that shit because Rihanna doesn't necessarily come from that. But, like, I feel like when it's something like Take a Bow, for example, it's a lot more generalized to the point where, like, oh, that could literally be, like, a song from anybody from any situation. It just so happens that Rihanna can present it in a way that is more... I guess, like, acceptable by, like, a lot of people.
Yeah, and it probably makes more sense of her making a song like Take a Bow than than Neo. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, some of the greatest songwriters, like The Dream, wrote a whole bunch of like shit for like Mariah Carey and all that.
Oh
And
yeah.
it's like,
Drake. That's why like I didn't want to bring up Drake, but yeah, Drake has gotten slander for using writers, but he's wrote for other people.
Yeah.
So where do people like criticize his pen game? You know what I'm saying? That's weird, right?
It is,
but
weird.
it's like a social media thing to kind of just jump on the bandwagon, right? Well, like, oh, you guys are hating on him. Okay, I'm gonna just throw in my little jabs too. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think like if someone's talking about like some street shit, for example, right? I don't think somebody should come in and try to fabricate,
that. Okay, yeah,
you know, some street shit because it's
so there's like a line.
Yeah, there's like a fine line between that, you know, and I think like Drake, for instance, like sometimes he'll be talking about street shit, and it's kind of like, well, if somebody else is writing like the street shit for you, like, are you really about that?
Yeah.
You know, like
that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense too.
I mean, we could go on and on about
we
songwriting,
days,
bro. And you know,
I'm really a student of this game, bro. I really just be like, man, like, what's going on with this? I question why things are the way they are, you know. So it's good to hear like another take and shit.
Hey, man, I'm happy that you be asking the questions too, because you know what I mean. Like,
man, we on the lunch table,
I'm usually
man.
over here like sitting, like, let me ask the questions.
I talk a lot, man. I talk a lot. Good thing you get killed a Henny, bro. I'll be on and on right now.
Shit, man. We'll get some Henny for the next podcast too.
Nighttime though, man.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to look like an alcoholic out here.
So Young Jay, man.
What's going on?
Growing up in San Jose, what was that like for you?
San Jose is. See, when I was growing up in San Jose, it was a lot different than what it is now. Back then was like gangbanging was very fucking important. Like everyone did it. Everyone was, if they weren't, they had to pretend they were, things like that. But now I feel like when I come back, it's more like just partying. You know, people are having a good time. I mean, it's still there, but it's not as cool as it was back in the days. For some reason, back in the days, it was just like that's what everyone did. I don't know why. But as far overall growing up, man, San Jose is it's like you get the culture of the Bay Area, but we're like we have a different swag too. Like anybody will tell you that. Like I always like call us the forgotten cousin, because if you have like a true Bay Area artist like from a Oakland or a Vallejo, when they name cities, either San Jose is left off or San Jose is the last one. And if they ask you what's San Jose about, what would they say? Right? They'll be like, San Jose got the prettiest hoes. That's it, right? That's what they say. You know what I'm saying? So so that's why I call us kind of like the forgotten cousin, because like we like, oh yeah, what's Big Cousin doing over there? You know, they getting hyphy. We kind of do that, but we kind of don't. You know what I'm saying? That kind of thing.
Yeah. So, all I know is, man, whenever I've been to San Jose, it's been like fucking wild.
It's fun, man.
And I was even telling like Chow Mein, like it was crazy going to San Jose State for the first time. You know, just visiting some homies, and it's like literally San Jose State is smack in the middle between like some industry looking shit, and then you got the hood on the other side.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. I don't really know where to touch upon the San Jose State.
It's all good, bro. But you know what I mean? Like I totally get you. San Jose doesn't get the credit it deserves when it comes to like the Bay Area, because like I mean, I didn't even know like gangbanging was a thing over in San Jose until I talked to Russ Kusan.
Yeah. What did you say about that?
I mean, he was just saying how it was prominent over there.
That was the word I was looking for. I was about to say prevalent, but I was been wrong. But it was for a little while.
Did you find yourself in those situations growing up?
Definitely, because my family is from that. My brother, my two brothers. Well, we lost our mom at a very young age, and then like they were like in their tweens area. You know what I'm saying? So they didn't really know how to express their sadness, so they took it out as anger. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people do that shit, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, it's not manly to cry, but it's manly to go beat someone up. You know what I'm saying? Like, someone will get made fun of. Why you fucking crying? Oh, but if you beat this dude up, oh, you the man. You know what I'm saying? So they kind of use their angst towards that lane, you know what I'm saying? Because it felt good to be part of something. It felt good to people like, man, good shit on that lick you did, good shit on that hit you did, or whatever the fuck, you know what I'm saying?
So now I'm like,
so that's where I came from. So that's why but the crazy part is, while I was growing up, they were always like, you get into this shit, we fucking you up, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't get like, stay away from this. So I was like, okay, cool, like, yeah, you guys handle that. I don't really like, y'all are getting locked up, my brother's getting stabbed, shot, all that shit. The house is getting raided every other week. I'm like, this shit's stupid. This shit sucks, right?
Bro.
But like, they were locked up a lot, so I was by myself a lot too. So it was the same thing of getting meeting these people, and then like, hey, hang out with us and shit. Oh, this is what we're doing, and you want to be accepted and shit like that too, you know. So yeah, I was definitely like knee deep in that shit for the longest time. Like, it wasn't even until like recently that I kind of got not even like not out of it, but like we calm down, and that's why even like the newer music right now that I'm coming out with, I talk a little bit more about that because I'm not doing it anymore, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
But then at the time when I was actually in that shit and doing the things that I'm talking about now, I felt like if I were to say, I would have got like in trouble, get locked up.
I get you.
You know what I'm saying?
I get you.
So I would talk about partying. Like I had a song called "Fuck Buddies," just fucking around. You know what I'm saying? Like talking about hoes. You know what I'm saying? Talking about hoes. Talking about making money and shit like that. And then even if I were have like a gun bar, I'll be like, oh, the homie hold the gun. The homie do this. The guy does that.
Yeah.
Never myself. But once I kind of got a little bit more out of it, because I live out here now. Yeah, so I kind of like, okay, cool. I'm gonna talk about that a little bit more because they haven't heard that from me yet.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah.
So I mean, it's kind of interesting dynamic because when I was speaking to Stupid Young, probably like sometime last year, he was talking to me about how like, when Cambodians were able to go to Long Beach, they kind of had to formulate a gang for protection.
Right.
And it seems like in your situation, like, I'm not necessarily getting that same sense of protection.
I know my brother started gangbanging when I asked him like why, because generally Asians are smaller than every other race.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
What are you, by the way?
I'm Vietnamese.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're smaller. So the Mexicans would kind of pick on us. We didn't have too many blacks in San Jose, but the Mexicans would kind of pick on them and stuff like that. So they couldn't fight one-on-one because they would get beat up all the time.
Yeah.
So what they would do is kind of like, hey, you getting picked on too? Like, okay, cool. Like, hey man, let's fuck this dude up, or whatever the fuck, which is dumb.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's kind of how it started, and now there kind of comes a camaraderie, like, oh, we did this together. We're in this shit together, type of shit. Then boom, it kind of like, then all of a sudden, like, it all stems from something like kind of positive, right? Like even when Stupid Young was talking about how it started for protection, but look at it now. Like, what the fuck? They're killing each other now.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, so it always stems from something like that, and then kind of just blows up and goes out of proportion.
So I guess what's allowed, people from like your area to kind of like simmer down if they have?
What's allowed to simmer down?
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like years and years have like gone by, and like there's
honestly,
shit going.
it's also growing up too, bro. It's just as things get old, you start to have a lot to lose. You know what I'm saying? People have kids, people get married. Then you start seeing kind of like, hey, like, man, like I'm 25, like half of my friends are dead or in jail for the rest of their life. Then it kind of, you question it. You've been doing this for so long, because when you're 16, you think, I haven't really lived or anything.
You're just young and
you
reckless.
Don't give a fuck, but at the end of the day, you start thinking about it, like, is it really worth it, man? Like, my dad came all the way over here from Vietnam. Like, he drove a fucking boat to leave the Vietnam War and shit like that. And then, like, you come over here and you fuck your life up, right? But then at the time, 16, 17, 18, or even younger, you don't think about that shit. You're just like, man, I just want to, like, have these guys accept me. I want to make some money for it, my dad. But really, it's like, man, you should just get a fucking job or something like that. But why you got to sell drugs or whatever, But it's like, your peers are the ones telling you this shit. We're doing this shit to make money. So you look at them like, I want to be like you. What the fuck? You got a Benz and shit like that.
Yeah.
Fucking homeboy that works at McDonald's, he's walking to work. You know what I'm saying? It's a dumb mentality, but people kind of like, I understand it. You know what I'm saying? Because I was doing the same shit. I was like, man, I want what you have. Well, how did you get that? Oh, you did that? All right, cool. I'm gonna do what you do. I didn't have. If I had 10 motherfuckers that went to college and got jobs and was driving around whatever the things that I wanted, I'd be like, oh shit, I'll go that route instead. But I was hanging around these guys and they were getting it this way. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, to answer your question, like, how did it simmer down? I think it's just growing up, man.
Yeah,
and then,
it sounds like people.
Someone like me that's been through it, and then when I meet someone that's young, I tell them now, hey, that shit's not cool. That cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you can be tough or whatever. You don't have to back down from people, but you don't have to be rah on the fucking gram with a gun out, whatever. Like, no one, that's not even respectable, anyways. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So shit like that, it's like, it's peers to have, that will calm you down and simmer you down and shit like that.
Well, shit, it sounds like you're the OG. Just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I look young, but I'm a little older than a lot of people.
It's crazy. Like, since we're speaking on like OGs, I remember being on MySpace so much, and then there was this cat who I looked up to, Lil Crazed.
Yeah. Oh shit.
And bro, like, when
I literally I was eating pho right before this. And probably the wrong meal. Probably the wrong meal to eat before fucking.
That was the most
interview.
Vietnamese shit you could say, bro.
And I said it the real way too. It's pho, you know what I'm saying?
Pho.
But I was just literally talking to him because he was like, I don't know, his posts recently have been fucking like tripping me out, so I was a little worried. So I was just like, yeah,
just tapping in with him. Yeah, bro. I hope everything's good with Lil Craze, man. Because, like, I mean, like I said, I remember going on MySpace back when I was, like, 12, 13 years old, and I would see Lil Craze, and he was, like, one of the cats who were just, like, holding... I don't even know where he's from. Yeah. I just recognized the name,
Minnesota.
And I was like, yo. Where's he from?
Minnesota. Rochester, to be exact, yeah.
Oh, shit. That's crazy,
He was the first feature I ever paid for.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, how long ago was that?
Maybe going on 6 years now.
Wow, that's nuts.
Yeah. When I wanted to tap into like the Asian, like kind of just like associate myself with more poppin' Asian artists. Yeah, he was the first one I reached out to.
Damn, man. What song is that called?
Fuck, Lay You Down. Yeah,
because you have a couple with him, don't you?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's might be the only one released. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But I definitely paid. Actually, I didn't pay for it. I kind of finessed it. So basically, I was like, man, I don't want to pay. I don't want to pay for a feature. So what I did was like, what if I get you a show out here, and get you paid off of that? You get what I'm saying? I'll go to the club myself because I know people, and I will throw a show. I even put myself on the show. I'll open up for you, whatever like that. And if they pay you this amount, you'll shoot a feature for me and shoot the video too. Like, yeah, bet. So yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so yeah,
dude,
that's another thing.
That's fucking smart,
bro.
People don't even think that way anymore.
That's why I want to tell people, bro. Like, you can like, this shit costs us money for sure. 100%. You know what I'm saying? Music is not cheap, but there's ways around it, bro. Like, you can get sponsors and shit like that. Like, I did that shit. Like, hey, this guy has this many views, blah blah blah. That's his leverage, right? So I told the club like, he could bring this amount of people, and of course I went out and talked to people. Like, would you be excited about seeing him? Because he didn't really like perform in San Jose that often, right? So people like, hell yeah, like he's cute, woo woo, right?
He's cute.
Yeah, dude. The girls was like they love that motherfucker, bro. But so I just went to the club. I told him straight up, like, hey man, like this is what he wants, and plane tickets, woo woo. And they're like, yeah, okay, cool. And then boom, he came out here. So I mean, I technically set that thing up for him, but I got the feature out of it. Yeah.
Hey man, that's a brilliant way to go about things. Like
even
I said,
with music videos, like people like, man, music videos cost so much, but it's like, bro, we have sponsors. Like, we go to people and be like, oh yeah, you have this clothing brand. Hey, yo, do you want like 3 seconds of my video? You know what I'm saying? And like, you can help me pay for this video. So now instead of paying $1,000 for a video, that motherfucker just gave me $5. I pay $5, or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
So you don't have to like go all the way with it. That's
exactly.
Man.
It's all about hustling and fucking thinking, bro. That's all it is thinking. Like, really, like, okay, I don't want to spend the money on it. How do I get the money, right?
Yeah,
motherfucker, you can go wash some cars or some shit, you know? Get creative. But I actually got creative with it because people like, all right, I'm gonna shake your hand and then you shake mine, or scratch your back, you scratch mine. And you get your little thing, and now I got this network with you too. You know what I'm saying? Now I know all the people you know. You know what I'm saying? So now when I need to reach out to someone that like, hey, can you hook this up? You know what I'm saying? It's all about like just
you know what I mean? And that's a shame that type of stuff is very rare to find nowadays, because like I know some people who will like pay for a feature and then like nothing really happens after that. But it's kind of interesting in this day and age too, because back then like streaming didn't exist. So it's like, how do you feel now? Because like, you can have somebody on the feature now, and like, you don't have to pay for it, but it's like, no, but then I want like this much of like, the splits. Like, how do you deal with that type of situation now?
See, I don't have a manager, but I know a lot of people that do have managers. It's kind of, they'll set all those things up. But as for me, like, let's say if someone wanted to get a feature from me, I would kind of look at like, all right, is this guy really going hard with music like that? What do I get out of this, right? Because it's at the end of the day, it's a transaction, right? So it's like, all right, what am I getting out of this? He has like 45 followers or whatever, right? Not that I'm super popping or anything like that, but this kind of does nothing for me. So yeah, I'll take the money or whatever. But let's say me and him are kind of equals, then yeah, maybe I'll be like, hey, I'll do the song for you, you do a song for me, and then you get money off of your streams, I'll get one off my song. It's all about just talking and see what people want out of it. Or maybe I don't want money or whatever. It's just like, okay, I'll just do the song for you.
I just want the look.
Or maybe you can hook me up with this guy or this girl or whatever the fuck, you know what I'm saying? So it's all about that.
So it's hella interesting how you're putting everything into perspective now, because like I definitely knew like the music industry. I mean, not even prior going into this, but like learning more about the industry, it's like everything about this industry is just all about trade. You know what I mean? It's like, what can you offer me if it's not like monetary?
Right. Yeah, and I've done a lot of songs that it's just like, okay, like, you might not even push the song. I've done songs where people didn't release it, and I'm like, I'm glad I got the money out of it, because like I just because I have to pay for my own studio time too, So it's like, yeah, I'm glad I got the money out of it because you didn't release it, or now maybe you quit music, and it's like, what the fuck? If I would have did that song for free, I would have felt cheated almost. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't want to work with you. You wanted to work with me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That sounds like, like I'm up here or whatever. But we all got 24 hours in a day, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, man, like, I'm not going to be like, hey, Nico, like, can you do this favor for me? And you're getting nothing out of it at all. And you know what I'm saying? You might be like, I don't know about that, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
Yeah. We all got mouths to feed and shit.
We all got different ways to go about it. All I know is there's a million ways to make money.
Yeah.
Choose one.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Just choose
so
one.
it's like, it's either you get two things, right? It's either you get money or you get opportunities. That's like opportunity to make money. You know what
I
I'm
could
saying?
not have said it any better, bro.
Thanks, bro.
So, Jay, man, when do you start rapping amidst, like, you being in San Francisco, you still being
San
kind
Jose,
of like
yeah.
or my bad, San
All
Jose,
good, all good,
still
all good.
you still being like implemented into this like gangbang culture. Like, when do you end up like taking rap and making it into a thing?
The thing about those two worlds is that and I don't want to talk too much about Stupid Young, but he collides them well. But I know behind the scenes he has to. This is just assumptions, right?
Mm-hmm.
It has to kind of like clash where it's like, man, I want to kind of leave this behind and do this, or maybe just go this. Like, you can't. I feel this is my personal opinion only, but I don't think you could do both things at once.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like you could be a part of the culture, like the gang culture, and kind of leave it behind and do rap. But one foot in, one foot out type of shit, man. I think it's either sooner or later it's gonna catch up to you, or
Yeah.
it just won't work. But
I mean, we've seen instances where, like, for instance, in Rolling Loud, like, I think there was like something that happened with T Grizzly. And, like we see like
is
a lot
the
of
aunt, the one with his aunt, or this is back then?
this was like a couple months ago.
Got it. Okay.
But you know what I mean? Like, it's difficult when you have somebody in like a huge limelight, and then you see like, unfortunately, like some gang shit go down. Mm-hmm. It's just like, it's
Even
tough because it's like
Nipsey is the perfect example, right? Like, he always said, or he did say that I'm not a gang banger, I'm a gang member, right? Like, he's not out there busting missions, he's not out there checking dudes and stuff like that, but he's still part of it and he still represents that shit, right? And he got away from it for so long, but he's so into his hood and rebuilding, which was a great thing and shit like that. But what got him killed was what? He stuck to the code, right? Well, this is what I hear, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. What happened was, like, he called someone out for being a snitch or whatever, and he hurt that dude's feelings, and the dude shot him, right? So it's like, but, man, if he were just kind of like, man, I don't know. I say this because it hurts, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, I wish he kind of just like, yeah, he's a snitch, but I'm going to just say nothing today. You know what I'm saying? But, that part of him being almost like 1 foot or a toe still in, you know what I'm saying?
The big toe
the little,
in,
like, he couldn't really let that one go, and it happened that way. I wish he didn't, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he was at fault. I'm not saying that at all. He did the right thing. Like, yo, get the fuck up from out of here. We don't fuck with your kind or whatever the fuck. But yeah, man. Like,
yeah, I mean, I guess to your point, man, it's just, I guess it's a very difficult situation to try to balance being in both, like, gang culture and hip hop at the same time. I mean, shout out to, Stupid Young for being able to do it at the same time.
Shout out to Stupid Young for everything he's doing for them. Yeah, I know people have a lot of fucking personal problems with him and they don't like him for certain reasons, but I'm talking about just music in general only. Like, man, what he's done for the Asians to just kind of be in it is incredible, bro. Mm-hmm. Like, he's really himself, he gets so much backlash for this and that, and he's like, well, this is me, this is how I was raised, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, this is him. Like, I would feel fake if I didn't say the things I said, so he keeps it real with himself, and that's big, because in this industry, you want to fit in just as much as the gang culture, right? You want to, like, oh yeah, you guys don't like this? Okay, let me switch it up for you guys. Oh, what, you guys like this?
Yeah, but
now?
the thing is, like, he's not doing it just to fit in. That's
what I'm saying.
That's literally just like his innate.
And that's what I'm saying. And it's like, yeah, I'm saying in this industry, a lot of people want to fit in, but with him, it's like, well, take me for what I am. Like, this is what I'm bringing to the table. If y'all don't like it, I'm gonna just keep going. He said that, so I was like, that's super dope. And he's a good guy. Like, when we had all the songs that we did together, we always laughed and we always had a good time. Like, we have a lot of funny shit, bro.
Yeah, bro. I saw that you and Young actually have like a long history together. Like, how did you guys end up linking?
Off of that song, Feel Like, did you get a chance to check that one out?
I think I saw it.
Okay, that's like my biggest song. Is at 10 million views right now.
Is that the one with Heartbreak on it?
And
yeah.
So I think
that was a crazy music video, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. Shout out to Dale and Burgundy Sweets, man. I'll say that again. Shout out to Dale and Burgundy Sweets, man, because he shot that video and shit. And a lot of things went wrong during that video too. But
what was wrong?
All right, let me get to how we first met first. All right, so I think he just got out of jail, and I seen an interview where he said, "I'm from Long Beach" was the first song he did, but he could correct me too. I think it was Feel Like was the first song that he did, but it was either one of those two. But anyway, yeah. So me and Heartbreak were in the studio. We made that song. We just did the hook only, and I posted it up on Instagram. And then just of us in the studio, not even the song yet, just of us thing. So I think he reached out to Heartbreaker and was like, "Hey, put me on something, like put me on any song, whatever he's trying to work." So Heartbreaker's like, "Shit, me and Jay just did this one song. You want to jump on it?" So he sent it, dude, bro. I know I've seen how fast he works, but at the time I didn't know. But he literally like we sent it that night, like, by the morning or like the next day, he sent it back, like fully mixed and everything. It was done. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, "Hey, can I get the fucking stems to this?" He's like, "No, man, it's done. Like you just release it like that." I'm like, "Yo, I appreciate it." You know what I'm saying? And then yeah, so then we shot the music video in San Jose, and he was just like, "I don't want no money or nothing like that. How about just get me a rental in a hotel?" And like, I didn't even get him a nice hotel, which I feel kind of bad for. You know? He was just like I got like 5 or 6 dudes coming with me, get me a van and a hotel, and it's all good. And yeah, brought them out. We ate and stuff like that. We drank at the video shoot and all that shit too. And it was good vibes, man. And then you asked what went wrong. So if you look at where Stupid Young is in the video, he's sitting on a ice cream truck.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
But to get the fucking ice cream truck to that location, it's like a junkyard / fucking garage, right? Right before it made the turn to go there, its axle broke.
Oh,
bro! And if I told you how the fuck we got it to there, you would not believe it, bro. So it took us so we shot like the first scene or whatever, right? And then by the time that we're waiting for the ice cream truck, it breaks, right? So literally, it's like maybe 0.1 miles to the fucking place, right? So we got the mechanic, because he let us use his garage. So the mechanic comes out there, he tries to fix it, like, "Oh, we can't," and shit like that, right? So, bro, I was shit you not. We did it with a fucking like it's like a skateboard, bro. I think it was a skateboard, and we just put the fucking axle on top.
Oh
yeah,
my God,
and
dude.
we literally just
Hell
drove it like super slowly to the fucking place, and we're like, "This is as far as it'll come." So we just parked it there, lit that shit up, studio sit on that shit, and we fucking shot the video, bro. Yeah, for real. And that shit took like 3 hours. Like all my boys were there on the bikes, and they were like, "Man, like you told me we just had to come here, and just pop some wheelies and shit." And I'm like, "Can you just stay for like another couple hours?"
For like another 2 hours, bro.
Yeah,
like
pretty
not bad.
much.
This was like some unprecedented
yeah,
shit.
they were like on a run and shit. They're like, they like when you ride bikes, you just go from place to place. So they were gonna make a stop at ours, shoot the scene, get the fuck out. But the thing was happening, so they kind of just stood there. So shout out to all my boys,
man. Shout out to y'all for finessing that all the way in, bro. I probably would have looked at that thing like, man,
yeah,
this is a shit show.
Yeah,
right
but
now.
the show must go on, and we all just like, man, I was getting all frustrated too and shit. But at the end, like, I'm glad we stuck out, because that was my biggest song to this day. And like every time we perform that shit is like nuts, bro. Nuts.
Yeah, and I think that goes to show like the amount of dedication that you have just to make sure that your craft and that your work and your creative juices are just like out there, bro. Because you never would have known. Like that song could have just been like a dud.
Yeah, or we could have gave up, right?
Or you could have gave up.
Yeah.
But then you see, you kind of just like harvest the fruits of your labor afterwards and be like, wow, like and it also makit's for a very funny story.
Right. Yeah, true. That's another thing to look at things sometimes. When things go wrong, it's like, yo, it sucks right now. But look at me, like, what? It'll be 3 years this year, So 3 years later, we're just laughing about it, and it's like, man, that we went touring off that song and everything. And that song was paying for my fucking rent for like a whole fucking year.
Bro,
that song by itself,
crazy.
my rent and my phone bill, I think. Yeah, it was nice.
That's amazing, man. That shit. So then, you said you guys were on tour. It was you, Stupid Young, and Heartbreaker?
No, we never went on tour with Stupid Young. Yeah, I don't know why.
Well, it was you and Heartbreaker?
It's just me and Heartbreaker,
Okay.
and then like some other people that just like wanted to come. Like my boy 100 was there a lot of the times. Whoever that could make it to the show, we'll just like put them on. But it was actually I ain't gonna lie, it was Heartbreaker's show. But like since me and him were a team, I went everywhere with them too. And then
That's crazy,
those
man.
tours probably like saved my life.
That's a blessing, man. To know that you can like really just work on this music shit and just like you had like your whole year just like fucking paid off. That's a blessing,
maybe
bro.
even two. Maybe even two. Bro, we toured Laos, the country.
Shut up.
I swear to God.
Dude, how was that?
We did 6 cities in the whole country. It's crazy because I tell a lot of people, like, yo, we went to Laos. And they're like, what's Laos? Like, they don't even know that that's a country and shit. It's funny as fuck. But yeah, we toured the whole, we were there for 20 days. We did 6 cities, 7 shows. and it was fucking amazing.
Was there a language barrier?
Well, Heartbreak is Lao, and the people that brought us out, they're Lao.
I didn't know that. Okay, cool.
A lot of them speak English though. But like, yeah, most of the time when we bought stuff, we would just say thank you, hello, point at shit. You know what I'm saying? I want that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So language barrier definitely, but we were surrounded. When we went, bro, we went with like some powerful people over there, so it made the trip a lot easier.
What you mean powerful?
Powerful, bro. Like
talking about like the king or
like the presidents right here, the people that we were at, like they would have more. Shit. They had more money than the government, bro.
Yo, that's crazy.
It was crazy.
So you guys were basically living like royalty.
We were, bro, but yeah, we were living like it was. Man, I don't even know where to start. It's just like. Everywhere we went, it's like we had bodyguards with us, you know what I'm saying? If I went to the bathroom, we'd be like, go with them and shit, you know what I'm saying? Like that. Bro, I always tell this story too, like, because we have to drive everywhere. We can't really fly everywhere. So they get us like this big ass van, and it's not a tour bus, but it's not a shitty van. It's a van. It has TVs. It's really comfortable. It's really big. Fit like 16 people. And so we were to drive everywhere and shit like that. But so they're like dirt roads. They're not really fucking roads like over here. But there was construction. So there's like pretty much if we didn't go through this way, we would have to go all the way. Like it would take us like 9 hours or whatever.
Okay.
So whoever's driving the car was just kind of like name dropping the people that brought us out there. Like these are his artists. He needs to make it the show by this certain amount of time. Like they're doing construction on the fucking road. Like there's heaps of fucking like dirt and shit, right? So what they did was just like I don't know. We were in the car, but he came out. They talked to him. They're just like give him like 20 minutes or whatever. These motherfuckers took those. I don't know the tractors or whatever with the how they scoop it up.
Scoop everything.
Yeah. So they flattened it. They flattened the fucking road for us.
Just for you guys?
Just for us, bro. And we just went across it. And I was just like, and then everyone just made jokes like, yeah, like, flatten this road or you die. Type of shit. But I'm sure it was a joke. I'm sure it was a joke. I'm sure it was a joke. But I don't know what the conversation was. But yeah, that was.
I guess that kind of just goes to show, like, like how powerful the people you were rolling with.
Yeah, and Laos is like, there's no middle class, bro. It's either you're hella rich or you're hella poor.
Yeah. Is that something that you really learned about that culture, the fact that there is no middle class over there?
Well, that kind of made me open my eyes to, like, a lot of the, not third world, but, like, a lot of the countries that are out there. I'm sure Vietnam's the same way. Mm-hmm. I haven't been to, like, Cambodia, but I went to Thailand. It's the same way, too. You know what I'm saying? So... yeah, it makes you appreciate a lot of shit you have here, man. Like, I'll tell you that right now. Like, if people could just go out and travel and just, you don't even have to spend a lot of money. Just go out and just see what the fuck, how people are living. Like, we used to go to this place called Cowboy Park, right? Cowboy fucking Park. It's like in the middle of Vientiane, which is the capital there. And then everyone would go there, like, after work and shit like that. And people would be like, man, dude, I made, it would be equivalent to $10, And that's like a fucking, like, a lick, a come up. They were just like rounds on me and shit, and then like we weren't hating him, but we did look at each other like, damn, $10 today, you know what I'm saying? Bro, like, and he was, you don't know, bro. They were just like, yo, like, guess what, motherfuckers? Crazy. I made 10. Well, they didn't say $10. I forgot what the actual amount was. Their currencies, but it amounted to about $10. That rounds on me, man. I got it, and it was just like. Man, it's like I'm happy for you, bro. Like I'm happy for you, but like we were just looking at each other like, man, like we $10 is poverty over here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Maybe even worse. I know panhandlers make more than $10 a day.
That's crazy, bro. Because I remember going back to the Philippines when I was like 16 years old, and then I was asked my parents like, how much money should I bring over there? They're like, maximum like $50.
Really?
To last me like a month.
No way.
And I was like, oh hell no.
No, yeah.
And you know what I mean? Like I would pay for like a soda here and there, or just like food, like. Yeah. And I'm just like, wow, like $50 can really go a long ass way. And you think about like we could literally spend $50 being here in the United States like one night, just going to a bar or going to a club. You know what I mean? Like, or not even that. We could spend $50 just to park.
Yeah. True. I think for 20 days, and this is me just buying food and just like living by myself. I spent, I don't want to say it was like But this is me living like we drank and everything like that. Like we bought souvenirs we lived like kings and shit. I spent maybe $1,000 in 20 days. You know what I'm saying? But like it might sound like a lot to some people, but just think about this. Like I go to Vegas and spent like 5 times that amount on a weekend sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, man, and you live like a fucking king over there. You do whatever the hell you want. We gotta have a fucking parking, a speeding ticket, or like not a motorcycle, no helmet, speeding. We got out of those by paying the money. You know what I'm saying?
Up front?
Yeah, so we're riding those go karts, and we don't got no, either we don't have no fucking helmet, or we're running red lights or whatever the fuck, and then we'll get pulled over. You know what I'm saying? And they'll be like, man, we're gonna get your passport, blah 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 blah. So they'll take our passport, and then there's like make it seem like you're hella in trouble. They're like, all right, come in and talk to you, and then they're just like, $40.
Hey man, fuck it.
Yeah, we're like, all right, cool. Just give me back my passport and shit, Yeah, it's crazy over there, man.
Dude, it's conversations like this that really make me appreciate, the life that we currently have. And it's like, I look at situations like that and think like, wow, like we have it, like, I guess in a sense, like also good, but also bad over here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we could be making like $10, $15 an hour and shit.
Yeah.
And that could not get us by. But then if you made $10, $15 like back over there, like you're solid for the fucking year, bro.
Right, for sure. And like everybody would turn like their house into a business, because they can't go out and get a place to put their business. So like a lot of people would like sell food out of their like house. You know what I'm saying?
Or, dude, I had an auntie who had like a store that was literally just like underneath her house, and she would like fucking sell like soup. And soda. And
those would be the most fucking fire food, bro. I'm telling you, the food is fire in those spots, bro. All the aunties, they gotta have the back arm kind of sag down a little bit. That's when the food is.
Yeah, because they be cooking like all the fucking time, bro. Like their shit be working. Yeah. So man, young Jay, that dude, that's crazy, man. That's such a blessing that you were able to, go to Laos and experience that. And,
I have a vlog if people want to tune in. I did I think it was just like three videos on YouTube. If you guys want to check it out, Young Jay Laos vlog. Yeah, so.
Oh shit! Okay, I'm gonna have to check that out, man.
Yeah.
That's tight.
Yeah. It's mostly me laughing and bullshitting for like 15 minutes. but you see some shit out there too, and it was a good time, bro. It was one of the best times of my life.
What was like actually, I guess you kind of answered that, like them kind of like flattening the surface for you, and like you being able to get from like one place to like your fucking show. Yeah. So man, like you get when do you end up moving to Los Angeles?
I moved out here for personal reasons though, but. I'm starting to see the power out here, and I understand why people move out here to chase entertainment and shit like that. Like everything is so close by. There's so many people out here. And like the network is crazy out here. You know what I'm saying? You can know one person if they like you. You know 10 people. Far, yeah. You know what I'm saying? But to answer your question, I think I've lived out for like 2 months now. Yeah.
Super recent.
Yeah. I mean, I was going down here. Really often, so I kind of knew, like, made a little bit of connects, and I met people and stuff like that. So it wasn't just like fucking just dropped me off and like go. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of like hit the floor running, type of shit. But I was about to ask you, like, what did you think? Because wait, were you born and raised in?
Born and raised in San Francisco. I moved out here when I was like 21, 22 ish.
So what was like the biggest? Or what are some of the biggest differences from the Bay and the LA area?
Well, honestly,
or SoCal.
Like one of my things is that like a lot of my friends aren't in the creative field. Like a lot of them,
Same.
Go for like that linear job, which is good for them, and they're living their lives the best way as possible. But like for me, I guess being from the Bay and then moving out here, I've noticed that like everybody here always has something to do.
True.
And not for like the sake of like being busy, but being productive. You know what I mean? Like you were just talking about, to Chow Mein, like, I might hit up De La Studio after that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like everything is just always like forward moving. And to me, like, it's a fast life that I really enjoy because it keeps everything, like, it's unstable, but it's so exciting because you don't know what's going to happen.
True.
And, I look back at like wanting to move back home, like, in the future, but it's just like having a life that is completely linear and that is like predictable, like it's just something that I'm not fit for right now, and that's probably the biggest difference that I've noticed. Like this
is probably the best time to do that shit too. So
100%, because like I mean I'm 26, right? So it's like I think being smack in the middle of like my mid-20s, just trying to figure out life as best as possible, like it's a blessing because people tend to like figure out their lives when they're like, or figure out what they want to do when they're like in their mid-30s or even 40s. So it's like, even you have like
a jump start right now.
Yeah, you get that jump start. You even get like people starting. You see parents who start their kids off super early, probably when they're like 16, 17, said like, hey, like if you really fuck with this, you might as well just fucking do it for the rest of your life.
Right.
And it's like, it's that type of advice that I wish that I was able to get from my parents. But, you know, obviously they moved from like the Philippines to here. So then their first mindset was just like, you know, stability, make sure that you're like stable. But now I feel like a lot of us are in an opportunity in which, you know, like our parents have the stability, cool, but let's find stability in the instability.
Right. Okay, damn. Deep.
Hey, man, look, nobody ever asked me questions on this shit.
Oh,
so
shit,
I'm
for
just
real?
like, that's
okay,
why,
shit.
bro, that's what I'm saying. Like, I appreciate this shit a lot, dude. I don't get to talk about this shit.
That's what's up.
Well, what's the biggest difference that you've seen from like San Jose to like over here?
One of the biggest ones I feel about the LA life is that not everyone's from LA here. Like, a lot of people come here that are not from here. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? It's like from San Jose, when you're there, it's like everyone's from San Jose. So we're here, it's kind of everyone kind of like a backstory. What they come here for a purpose for the most part. You know what I'm saying? They come here for a purpose. What are you here for? I want to do music. I want to get into acting. I want to model. I know some motherfuckers that model and shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh, that's dope as fuck and shit. Like, they left whatever they needed to leave behind, and they went here to pursue that. That's why I feel like it's more productive. You know what I'm saying? Because when I am here, I'm bored at the end of the day, you know? And when you're bored, you want to do something. But at home, it's like, if I'm bored, let's go to the bar. Oh, let's go to your house and drink. Or let's go smoke some weed or whatever the fuck, right? But here it's kind of like I don't really have my circle like that. So when I'm bored, it's like I'm going to the gym. All right, while I'm at the gym, I'm thinking about, okay, oh shit, I have to do this song or whatever. You know, oh yeah, Chow Main's in town. Oh shit, he want to get a studio session in. All right, let's do that. You know what I'm saying? Or like, even just meeting up with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go do this today, and I've never done a podcast before, so let me try it out. Let's see how it goes.
You're doing well, my dad.
Thank you, bro. I mean? You're an easy person to talk to and shit. Yeah. But yeah, shit like that, and then other things that I've noticed, the traffic here is like fucking
horrible.
It's way worse. I know a lot. It's so cliche to talk about that shit, but when I'm like in this motherfucker, I'm like, damn, like how is there 9 lanes on Saturday at night, and it's like we're not moving. I don't get it. There's always construction going on. Motherfuckers road rages out here made me want to kill somebody all the time.
All the time, bro.
But what else, dude? Like it's crazy. It's like it's only 5-6 hours away, but the culture is different.
The culture is different, man.
Shit, gangbanging here is way.
I think it's a lot more serious over here.
Oh man, the politics over here is like, oh, you kick with him, all right, cool, let me stay away from you. Oh shit, you weren't. Oh fuck, I was in Costa Mesa, bro. I don't know a lot of people know what Costa Mesa is, but I would think that I thought it was a pretty nice area. I was on the corner on the phone. I'm wearing red pants and a red hat, and like somebody just popped by like, you need to be careful out here. You think you're sweet, woo woo, and I was like, what the fuck is happening and shit?
Yeah,
and I was like, what the fuck? I thought I'm in Costa Mesa, but yeah, but you know, just even meeting a lot of people, I understand it though. I get it.
It's different, bro. Like I remember when I first moved out here, a lot of people were telling me, you know, just to kind of like be wary about like where you're like walking
for sure.
about because it's like, you know, a lot of like my black homies would tell me like, no, you're fine.
Yeah.
You know, you personally don't look like you would like fuck with somebody.
Right.
So, but still, like, I'm not gonna like walk into this like random area where, you know, like nobody really notices me. Otherwise, I'm gonna look weird. You know, I'm gonna just look weird because I'm foreign. And it's like for me, I never really knew how serious it was up until I was told about the story of. There was like this thing called 100 Days, 100 Nights.
Oh yeah.
You know, LA, and you know it was.
That was back in the 90s, right?
No, it was just
recently?
a couple years ago, bro.
Oh really?
So what had happened was like, it was just
a gang war, right?
It was a gang war for sure, but basically like, there was at least one gang member of like whatever set getting killed every day for 100 days, and I'm like. Yeah. Wow, that shit is crazy. I've never heard of any shit like that going down in like. Anywhere in the Bay Area. And for me, I just look at situations like that and I'm just like, hey, like, I just want to keep the peace. I'm going to stay away from these areas. And at the end of the day, like,
I get a lot of dirty looks out here too, you know what I'm saying? Like, they can tell, like, well, you don't belong around this area, like, but you know, for the most part, if you kind of just mind your own business, you know, you don't gotta look at nobody, no one gotta be a tough guy, you know what I'm saying? People will leave you alone generally, you know what I'm saying? Because I think a lot of people when they go out, they don't like, I'm gonna kill somebody, you know, like they're not waking up with that mindset, but they still kind of have to put on for, you know, their pride and their hoods and shit like that, so they still gotta put on that face, you know what I'm saying? I understand that, but you know, for the most part, I see someone kind of staring at me, I was like, I don't really got a problem with him. I'm just gonna walk away, you know what I'm saying?
Walk away, man.
Yeah.
Just walk away. Man, this was a crazy conversation.
That's it, huh?
It just went kind of everywhere, bro. But
I know. What's the title on YouTube gonna be like?
I don't even
Young
know,
Jay
man.
sits down and talks about everything.
We talked about everything from the Bay to Laos to fucking.
That was fun,
gangbang
man.
And
that was
everything,
fun,
man.
Yeah.
Like Young Jay, like you got a record out called Loyalty, and I think the last time you dropped the project was like what 2016.
The end of 20. So right before right before New Year. Yep.
So like it's been a minute, bro. Like
So yeah, that's really another thing I wanted to come here is like, we got Heartbreakers album coming out first. Then we got the Bad Life album coming right. The Bad Life's the label, the crew. That's coming out right after. Then my solo is coming out at the end of this year too.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Then we got Plainview's album's out now. You can go check that shit out. ATM.
Saw that.
I think that's it for my group. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So then you, Heartbreaker, and
Cal.
Cal, you are all part of like that same
Bad Life.
collective?
Yeah, and Plainview, he's not officially, but he's one of us too. You know.
That's what's up,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. He didn't sign nothing like that, but he's one of us too.
You know, shout out to y'all, man. And you know, for me personally, I'm gonna leave it on this note. Like, I love to see a lot of people from the Asian community like come together and build together because now is like I tell people all the time. Right now is the time where you want to be just like putting all your creative juices out there. You know, like shout out to 88 Rising for really putting on. Shout out to Stupid Young for hopping on like every single Asian artist feature. And I'm just like, this motherfucker's like everywhere right now. And you know, like I was actually just put on to Heartbreaker and you like because of De La.
Yeah. Okay, that's what's up.
And you know what I mean? Like for me, it's beautiful to see like all of us like coming together in some way, shape, or form, and like helping each other build. And it's a beautiful thing. Man.
Yeah, and then right now is like the best time to do it too. So man, anybody who's doing music or entertainment, fucking online skits, comedy, fucking memes, whatever the hell you want to do, man. This is the perfect time to do it. So shit.
Young Jay, where can everybody find you, man?
Instagram, Young Jay MMM. That's YUNGJAE. YouTube, YUNGJAE. Spotify, everything, every streaming. Yeah, man. Run up my numbers, man. Pay for my bills, man.
You know something that? Do you know who Satika is?
No, who's that?
So Satika, she is this. She's the singer from Long Beach. So she's Cambodian, and she left me on this note. She was like, you know, if you just press play on one of my songs and put it on repeat overnight and then put the volume all the way down, like that'll help out a lot.
Yeah, man, do that.
Run the Young Jay numbers up that way, bro.
Use the laptop, the computer, 2 phones. If y'all still using iPods and shit, like all that.
Run that shit.
I mean, it's $1, man. Appreciate you. Actually, yeah, I want to thank you for having a platform, bro. Like, I mean, there's not a lot of platforms that even have Asian artists to come and talk. You know what I'm saying? Just to like, they see us on YouTube and everything, but to actually come here and just sit down and have a conversation, like, what does food actually sound like? You know what I'm saying? Whatever the fuck. So I appreciate that.
Man, thank you, bro. Yeah. You know, man, we can keep on going on like the back and
part
forth
two,
and shit.
Part two
we can do the
soon.
part 2 for sure. This is the lunch table. Food for thought. I'm
Bad
Nico
life.
Blitz, Young Jay, and we are out, everybody. Yay!